Hi, Tom Lee here with Fox ePractice, and I'm going to show you a couple of quick and simple things that I personally use our healthcare hashtag project for when I'm tweeting and or searching for new conversations and contacts. And just as a reminder, you can find our hashtag project page by looking under the resources item on our main menu bar, and it's the first item on the drop-down menu. Now, there's lots of stuff to look at and to do on these pages, but for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to scroll down here and select a hashtag so that we can go to that tag's page. And how about we select the hashtag doctors as one that we're interested in. And okay, so here we are on the doctors hashtag page, and I want to draw your attention to the list on the right hand side over here, related hashtags. And those tags listed underneath that heading are all hashtags that are being used whose subject matter is either similar to that of doctors or in some cases perhaps identical. So while you may be accustomed to using the hashtag doctors in your tweets, you may very well want to explore some of the other conversations taking place on Twitter using these other related hashtags. And you can do that in a couple of different ways. You could type one of these tags in the search bar on Twitter or whatever Twitter client you use and view the tweets that populate your screen. Or you could just click on one of the tags on the list right here on our site and be taken to that hashtag's page. And all of our hashtag pages you'll find contain, I'll scroll down here, this section right here, this live feed. So it's a way of rather quickly getting a feel for the nature of the tweets that are being used, or I should say that are using the hashtag that you've selected. Just get a little insight into what some of that discussion is about. And then if I can take it just a step further, I'm going to scroll down a little bit more here and want to draw your attention over here on the left-hand side of the page to this graph that's titled Activity Compared. And this may be one of the most useful graphs on the page because it does just that, compares which of these hashtags are used most often. So if your goal is to reach as many people as possible, this may help sway you to use one tag over another. For instance, if you look in the legend down here, we see that my chosen tag of doctors is the red line. And in the graph, we see that there are a few lines that sometimes, or in one case consistently, are used more often than the tag I was considering. And if we hover over the data points, we see some additional information. For example, this peak in the graph represents the hashtag MDChat. And that data point is for the 5th of April. And it's stating that there were 445 tweets on that day using the MDChat hashtag. Now, I happen to know that there was an MDChat tweet chat session on that day, and that's why it had so much more activity as compared to the other days of the week. And as a matter of fact, I can remove that hashtag from the list if I want by locating it in the legend right down here and just clicking on it. And when I do that, it takes it out and kind of redistributes the graph. So back to my tag of doctors, and I can see by hovering over that first data point that on the 3rd of April there were 96 tweets that were using that hashtag that I'm interested in. But if you look at the one right above it, I'm just going to go up here. We see that, which is the hashtag doctor without the S, like the plural version of the word that I've been thinking of using, and I see that it was used 146 times. And each day of the week, as I come across and look here, you can see that that was a more actively used tag than its plural form. So I might actually be interested in using the more active version of the hashtag, which is doctor without the S at the end. And the last thing I want to point out, if I can scroll down to the bottom of the page here, is this section we call Follow the Influencers. And here's where you can look on each hashtag's page, and based on the trailing 7 days, a couple of top 10 lists of those people or organizations on Twitter who are either the most often mentioned in tweets that are using the given hashtag, or are the authors of tweets using the hashtag. So you may want to explore some of those Twitter profiles and may likely find some interesting people who may have interest in common with your own as it's related to this hashtag. And that's just all the tip of the iceberg, as they say, because there's lots more to do and explore and to learn here at the Healthcare Hashtag Project. And we're constantly adding new features, so do come back often.